My freshman year of high school, I was required to take Spanish 1 Accelerated. I wasn't all that excited for the course at all. I was always the kid to think, why should I have to learn another language when these people are coming to my country? You know, the United States where most people speak English. But I found Spanish to be not so challenging and ended up taking Spanish 2 and 3 Accelerated my sophomore year of high school. At the end of the year, I realized how valuable knowing another language could be, and I decided to continue learning the language and take the Spanish 4 and 5 courses my junior and senior year. The first semester of senior year, I played club soccer on a guys' team, and the coach was Hispanic along with a few of the players. Whenever he would coach us, some of his words would be in Spanish and some would be in English, but I knew enough Spanish to be able to understand him. Before I knew it, the team had their own slang, and it was a mix of Spanish and English, and we would speak that language during the games. I always thought it was cool to be talking differently because none of the other teams could understand us, but it still didn't hit me until later on how important knowing another language really could be. Shortly after I graduated high school, I was working at Jim's IGA food store in a little town called Olathe, South Carolina. One day, a Hispanic man came into the store to buy beer, yet he could barely speak English. I asked him for his birthday, and he looked at me confused, so I asked him again, and then he mumbled out his birthday. But it was in Spanish. I repeated his birthday back to him with a smile, and his face lit up. He then began to ask me simple questions in Spanish, and next thing I know, we were standing in the front of the store having a conversation that was a mix of Spanish and English. But it was beautiful. I was able to communicate with a customer that no one else in the store could even begin to hold a conversation with. Ever since that day, he would only come into the store whenever I was working, and he would always come to my register, all because I knew a little bit of his language. This was when I realized that I wanted to minor in Spanish, even though I have no idea what I want to do with my life career-wise. However, I know that for sure, whatever career I decide to go into, I know I want to become fluent in Spanish, hopefully being able to communicate with those who speak Spanish, especially if I were to go into the medical field.
Created using Powtoon.